And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Palmer's here. Seth Kamen's over there. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Living the dream. One day till my kids start school again. Thank God.
Well, before we get into our NFL preview, which is really important for today, because tomorrow is the start of the NFL season, and we do like this show a lot. I'd like to point out that I don't know whether great reporting by ESPN, great reporting that somehow Kawhi Leonard was paid $28 million not to show up. I love it. The guy makes like $50 million. And instead of that, I actually want this to be true, Seth, for a variety of different reasons. Because for those that follow the show, I love chaos. I absolutely love chaos. And this could be the most chaotic thing, period. So for those that are unaware, the reporting is that Steve Ballmer through one of his affiliates, entered into a special endorsement package with Kawhi Leonard's company, in which he would pay Kawhi Leonard $28 million over 4 years. And that was whether he did anything at all. So when we hear about the mob jobs that are no-shows, this is basically what they call a no-show job. He could have said, no, I don't want to do anything, and still get his $7 million a year. Now, that would circumvent the salary cap, which we all know is a big thing in the NBA. Seth, do you remember the last time that the league came down heavy on a circumvention of the salary cap?
I don't.
It's your guy. It's your guy.
My guy. Drexler?
It's a former number one pick of the draft.
Joe Smith. That's right.
Joe Smith.
Wow.
Now, this is
Minnesota lost 5 first-round picks.
So this is 2001. So we're talking 24 years ago. Joe Smith, first pick of the draft of the Golden State Warriors, out of University of Maryland, plays out his contract. And the Timberwolves did not have enough money under the cap to give him a max contract. So there were communications, because why put this stuff in writing? Because let's put it in writing, between Glenn Taylor and the agent for Joe Smith, where he would sign a 1-year, $5 million or so deal with the promise that then the Timberwolves would get his Larry Bird rights, and the next year they would sign him to a max contract. Not so fast, my friends, as Lee Corso would say. And congratulations to the coach on his retirement, but not so fast. The NBA finds this out. They not only say no to Joe Smith's contract, so they basically say no to the $5 million. They declare him a free agent. They say that he cannot sign with the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves lose their next 5. Count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they later got back, I believe, 1 or 2 of them, but 5 consecutive first-round picks. And for those counting at home, there is a reason in the NBA you can't trade back-to-back picks, first-round picks. It's pretty devastating to the organization. And here, they don't lose 2, they lose 5. So what could come out of this? Well, in the Joe Smith case, Kevin McHale and Glenn Taylor were both suspended for a year.
Yep.
I'm not sure if Flip Saunders was suspended for a year. I think he was not. But those
is that your cuckoo clock? Was that just your cuckoo clock going off?
Yeah, that was my alarm clock telling me I need to check in for my flight tomorrow. But it was delayed an hour, so I don't have to do that. But anyway, so suspended for a year. Joe Smith obviously declared a free agent, and the contract's void. So what could come out of this? Well, Lawrence Frank is the general manager of the Clippers. Steve Ballmer is the owner of the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is now on a new 3-year max contract. So let's see here. It is September 1st, September 2nd, whatever date it is. Early September. A month and 6 weeks till the season. There is only one team with cap room left. Your Brooklyn Nets. You see where this is going, right?
If you think they're going to declare him a free agent, and of course, ironically, who is probably the most successful coach of the last 25 years in New Jersey or for the Nets? Lawrence Frank. It's not going to go that direction.
Come on, give me something here.
I don't know. I look, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, come on, it could definitely go that direction. Do you really think it can't go that direction?
I think it is really, really difficult to literally tell a player he can only go to one team.
Oh no, he can go to any team for a minimum contract.
On a minimum deal?
Yeah, he could go to the Knicks. He could go to the Knicks on a minimum deal. Seth, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Yes, this is going to happen. He would sign a 1-year deal.
Who do you think he would sign a one-year deal with?
Well, let's think of the teams that he could. Oh, I'm sorry. The other side of the coin being the Lakers.
Yeah, that's where I would think as well. And then suddenly they become a champion.
Yep. I mean, if you really want irony, he signs the 1-year deal with Dallas. That would be pure and simple irony, right?
Yes.
I'd love that. All right. NFL preview here. I'm wearing my Jets shirt as I do every NFL preview, and lo and behold, today is the day that we do this preview, and today is the day that the Jets find out that their starting left guard is probably gone for the entire year. Elijah Vera Tucker gets hurt, torn tricep. What else is new? One more year of infamy. For those that are playing at home, the team with the longest playoff drought in the four major sports is my New York Jets at 14. We're going to get to 15, ladies and gentlemen. No doubt. No doubt in my mind we're going to get to 15 because we're just going to get to 15. Seth, we do have Garrett Wilson on our team this year. We did declare him for the keepers for those that are playing at home as well. Just to keep you up to date, the Seth and Sean Sports Radio fantasy team did declare the following keepers today. J.J. McCarthy, Garrett Wilson for the third and final year, probably. And Jackson Najiba Smith. Michael. JSN. Okay. You feel good going into the draft tonight?
Yeah, a little antsy about letting Penix go. Just because based on prior drafts, the price of quarterbacks in 2QB has become so ridiculous that I hope it didn't butt us in the ass. But we have a lot of money. We kind of know who we want to go get. We'll see. It'll be fun. At least tonight I only have 2 leagues, not 3.
The following quarterbacks have been protected: Jared Allen, Caleb Williams, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield.
Jared Allen is not a quarterback.
Josh Allen. Again.
Him too.
Josh Allen, Caleb Williams, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Bo Nix, Joe Burrow, Daniels, Jaden Daniels, Sam Darnold, Bryce Young, our guy Bryce Young from last year, protected. Justin Fields, Russell Wilson was protected by the same guy that protected Justin Fields. So he has both New York quarterbacks. That guy is in for a hell of a season. And RJJ McCarthy. So a good amount of quarterbacks have been protected. The wideouts that are protected: Drake London, T. Higgins, Xavier Worthy, Wilson, JSN, The same guy protected 3 wide receivers.
I saw.
Puka, Jefferson, and Jamar Chase. Well, he's nailed those. He doesn't really need very much. I didn't look at – I don't have pricing. Nico Collins, Lad McCockney, Amon St. Brown, Tyreek Hill, and Brian Thomas. Running backs.
Tyreek Hill was kept?
Tyreek Hill was kept. Running backs. Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Devin Achane, David Montgomery protected, probably at like $6. Chase Brown, Chuba Hubbard, and our old friend J.K. Dobbins was also protected. I think we have just as many protected players on other teams than we do on our team from our previous drafts. And 2 tight ends in Trey McBride and Brock Bowers. Those are the guys that
Game
are protected. Game on. Game on for Derrick Henry. Game on for Derrick Henry. We will not be throwing out Derrick Henry anytime soon. We will be throwing out lots and lots of wide receivers. Let other people bid on some wide receivers. Okay. We generally start with the AFC because A comes before N, but I think this year we're going to start with the NFC and see where we start. So we'll start with your NFC West. We're going to go backwards. A good division.
I think the 3 best. I think there are 3 or 4 really good divisions and 3 or 4 really weak divisions. I think you have the NFC in the NFC. You have the West in the North. In the AFC, you have the West and the Central. Or I guess it is the North. The Central. Central.
No, it's the North. It's the North. There is no Central.
The North. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So we start with the NFC West, which is probably the only division that any of the 4 teams could legitimately win. I'm going to take the chance that Matthew Stafford stays healthy, and I'm going to go with the Rams to win this division. I'm looking Rams, Niners, Cardinals, Seahawks. And to be perfectly honest, this is a mishmash of anything. And I could be convinced in a lot of directions. The Rams, young defense, aggressive. Jared Verse is a stud. Their receivers are their offense is star based. The 2 receivers, Adams and Puka. Stafford, if he's healthy, at least you have Jimmy G as a nice backup. Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, you got Higbee on the tight end. It's a damn good, and you're well coached. It's a good team. It is a very good team. And remember, they gave Philly, with all their injuries in Philly, all they could handle. Really, their toughest battle on their way to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, no dispute here. No dispute. Look, if Brandon Ayuk was healthy, I would pick the Niners. I think the Niners are lacking in wide receivers with just Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall. And we never know, obviously, with Christian McCaffrey, whether he's going to stay healthy. And you know my feelings on Brock Purdy. I'm not a huge Brock Purdy fan. $50 million notwithstanding, still not a huge Brock Purdy fan, just in general.
Well, $50 million doesn't buy what it used to.
No. But so I'm going to go Rams, Cardinals, Niners, Seahawks. This is the year of Kyler Murray. It's either this year or no year. This is it. This is the year whether the Cardinals are going to keep Kyler Murray or they're going to really let him go. I think this is the make or break year for him. So who's your most intriguing, aside from Matt Stafford's health, who is your most intriguing player in this division?
I think it's Sam Darnold, because I think there's a curiosity. Look, Minnesota, once Kevin O'Connell comes in, Kirk Cousins has a career year. He leaves, Sam Darnold comes in, has a career year. Enough that Seattle lets Geno Smith, who's been a good quarterback for them over the years, go in order to sign Darnold to a 3-year, $100 million deal, albeit he can be released after 1 year. They have a heck of a running back duo. I think we want to see what if Darnold, look, let's be honest, the journeyman since the Jets, unfortunately for you, drafted him 6 years ago. I think we want to see if he can do it again, albeit without someone at the level of a Justin Jefferson, but be a solid NFL quarterback where you have still good receivers led by JSN. You have a good running back. You have a good coach. I think that's my curiosity more than anything else.
So,
and I do agree with you, by the way. I do have the Cardinals making the playoffs as a wild card this year.
So I'd like to correct myself, as I tend to do every once in a while. So this year, Kyler Murray has a cap hit of $43 million. Next year, if they cut him, oh, by the way, his dead cap would be $100 million if they cut him.
Yep.
So not going to happen. Next year, his cap hit is 53 with a dead cap of 57. They're not cutting him next year either. The year after is the one that I was hitting. The cap hit of 43 with a dead cap of $7 million. So it's this year and next year. Now, to be fair, Kyler Murray is only 29 years old. He feels like he's been there forever, but he's only 29. He's my most intriguing player, Seth, because if he's a Pro Bowler, and Pro Bowl is granted, it's not all.
Is that really where you want to go? If he's a Pro Bowler,
I do.
Tyler Huntley was a Pro Bowler 2 years ago.
Hold on. If he is a Pro Bowl starter, okay, if he is a Pro Bowl original top 3, right? It doesn't have to be an All Pro. He doesn't have to be one of the best 3 quarterbacks. If he can be one of the top 10 quarterbacks in football, this team is legit. This team could go places if he is a top 10 quarterback. The problem is he has never been that. And he has all the capabilities. He's not tall. I mean, we all know that, but he's got the athletic ability. If he can stay healthy. I mean, last year they had a point differential of plus 21. They actually played well at home. They were 6-3. They were 2-6 on the road. That's a problem. But they had the most points in the West, Seth. I bet you're surprised by that they had the most points in the West.
A little bit, yeah. But then again, you look around. Rams were hurt. Stafford was hurt a lot of last year.
Yep.
Gino, as I said, took a bit of a step back. DK Metcalf was not very good. Tyler Lockett, one of our favorites, got old. And San Francisco just got decimated by injury between Debo and Christian McCaffrey and Ayuk. Yeah. So I'm not shocked by it. I know they lost a lot of games, 31-28, 34-31, things along those lines, with a stud wideout, a workhorse as a running back, and a stud tight end, I should say, and a high, still a receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr., who, while not hitting the level of a Neighbors or a Thomas in his rookie year, still has high-end potential.
Well, let's talk about the stud wide receivers in Neighbors and Thomas. Understanding that is an anomaly. It is not the norm. A stud wide receiver is one of the harder positions to come in and play well in the NFL,
correct,
generally speaking. So he's in a bad draft class for him to be compared, right? I mean, inherently, if you take him in most other draft classes, what he did, he's the top rookie wide receiver. You just add 2 anomalies. So I think it's Kyler Murray. By the way, they also led up the second most points in the NFC West too. So they just got to win more on the road. Okay, let's move over to the NFC South, one of the crappy divisions, right?
Do we have to?
Yeah, we do. Tampa is the, how do I say this?
Favorite.
Not the favorite. I would say the favorite by a lot in this division. Look, Bucky Irving's my guy. I mean, a plus differential of 117. The only team in this division with a positive plus differential of last year. They actually scored second most points in the NFC. That is surprising to me that they scored the second most points. Now Mike Evans, Ajuka, the rookie wide receiver out of Ohio State, they're missing Chris Godwin. They have Bucky Irving. They're missing Tristan Wirfs for the first couple of weeks. But the thing is, you look at them and then you look at everybody else and you go, yeah, everybody else is yeah. I mean, between the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Saints, I'm picking Bryce Young to continue this metamorphosis and move up. And I'll go Tampa Bay, Carolina, Atlanta, and then New Orleans picking probably fourth in the draft or third in the draft next year and picking Arch Manning.
You haven't given up on the Archster after one game?
No, that's why I had him third. I didn't have him first. Third.
Nice. I agree with you, Tampa. I'm going to go Tampa, Atlanta, Carolina, New Orleans.
Okay,
I have them take. As of now, I will have them taking the quarterback from LSU, whose father, I believe, played for the Saints actually, in Doug Nussmeier and Garrett Nussmeier being the son.
Okay, so two things. Well, I'll get to that in a second. Okay, my most intriguing player in this division is Michael Penix. It has to be. He is.
Yes,
he is either. Look, the Falcons drafted Penix with Kirk Cousins, right? With him sitting there, the $100 million man, guaranteed $100 million. Let's take a first round guy, a first round quarterback with it, and then put him on the bench. Look, the Falcons had 389 points last year, 423 on the defensive side. A little bit lacking on the defensive side, but still went 8-9. You're right, Seth. It's Michael Penix. Bryce Young is a close second to me, because that's how these two teams are going to roll. It's A or B. And we keep waiting for that Bijan Robinson and Drake London combo, and Kyle Pitts, if you want to just throw a third guy in there, the trio to be that offensive juggernaut, right? We have to see whether Michael Penix brings this out of them. I assume Michael Penix falls in the same boat for you.
Yes. I mean, we know Atlanta has talent. Bijan is healthy, a top 5 running back in the league. Tyler Algier is a top 5 backup running back, who I think had a 1,000-yard season 2 years ago or close to it. Kyle Pitts is just pretty much looks like a wide receiver in a tight end's body that just never developed, but now maybe with lesser expectation, something can come out of it. Drake London turned into a superstar last year. They did lose their left tackle, Cal McGarry, for the year. And Penix was incredibly injury prone in college, first at Indiana, then at UW. So you still have to be a little antsy, to say the least, about them, but their upside is better than anyone else in the division. Higher ceiling. I'm not going to say lowest floor, because no one has a lower floor than New Orleans.
Here's a question for you. Michael Penix in our draft tonight. What's the highest you're going for him?
Around 15 to 20.
I'd be comfortable with that. I know we talked about that. I'd be comfortable with that. Okay, moving on to the NFC North. Jerry Jones, pick up on aisle 4. 2 draft picks and a Kenny Clark for Micah Parsons. Really, Jerry, look, I get it. It's your show. It's always your show. But, man, your show is going to be canceled. I mean, this is one of – this was bad. This was bad. And I understand people are comparing this to the Luka trade. I get it. I do. But let's understand. This is bad. I mean, I don't see the – first of all, Anthony Davis is a top 20 player. Kenny Clark is not. Max Christie is a first-round pick for all intents and purposes. Definitely better than a number 30 or number 28 pick. Yeah, I don't get it. But anyway, it propels the Packers to number 1 for me in this division. This division is hard, Seth. This division,
yes, it is.
And the Bears are going to be better. I mean, for those that are unaware, there is one team in the NFL that has never thrown for 4,000 yards. It is the Chicago Bears. Sid Luckman is the all-time leading single-season passing record with about 3,800 yards. There's one team.
And to be fair, that was in the 1940s.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You say that as a joke. In this case, we're not.
This ain't no joke. Now, to be fair, the Jets only have 2. So, I mean, it's like, okay. But still. So, let me ask you this. So, before we get into – I have the Packers winning the division. Does Caleb Williams throw for 4,000 yards?
Yes.
In 16 games, not 17.
Yes.
Okay, I believe so too. All right, I'm going to pick the Packers first. I know you don't feel that the Lions are as good as they were last year. I know this. 15-2 is kind of hard. So I'm going to go Packers, Lions, Vikings, Bears, and hope that J.J. McCarthy brings us another championship with the Vikings being the number 2 quarterback because their backup is Carson Wentz. So, yeah, I'm good with that. Look, I agree with you. Detroit loses Frank Ragnow. They lose, obviously, the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn. They're not going to win 15 games. They're just not. They're not going to sneak up on anybody this year. But I think all 3 of these teams make the playoffs. So, yeah.
I do too.
Go Packers, Vikings, Lions, Bears.
I'm going to go Packers, Lions, Bears, Vikings, and agreed that 3 of the 4 will.
Okay. Most intriguing player for you? Can it be anybody but Micah Parsons?
Oh, no, I don't find Micah Parsons particularly intriguing. I think he's just going to have a badass chip on his shoulder, but I don't find him intriguing. I am curious. I'm curious to see. I think it's Caleb Williams. I think it kind of has to be. He went through two coordinators in college, where he transferred. He comes to Chicago. He has 2 coordinators or 3, I forget which, last year. Now he has the quote unquote quarterback whisperer, offensive savior, guru, whatever it is, that came to Chicago in Ben Johnson specifically for him. They have a solid trio of wide receivers with DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and Luther Burden III, the rookie from Missouri. They have the 2 tight ends in Kmet and Loveland. They have DeAndre Swift, who probably fits that offense pretty well. They completely redid their offensive line. There's no excuse this year, period.
And yet you're picking them last.
No, I'm picking them 3rd.
Oh, you have the Vikings last?
You picked them last.
I do. Oh, boy.
I think the Vikings overachieved last year.
Seth, I do too at 14-3, but I don't have them below the Bears.
Okay.
So you have the Bears making the playoffs. You said 3 out of 4.
I do.
So
I do.
All right. So what is the Vikings record at the end of this year?
7-10.
If they are 7-10, you and I are probably not making the playoffs with JJ McCarthy as a quarterback. We got some problems.
Right, because we've never seen a quarterback have really good fantasy stats on a team under 500.
That's fair. Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco. Joe Burrow. Okay, that's fair.
Joe Burrow.
Look, I think it's I think it's Micah Parsons, and I think this is a playbook that Green Bay knows, right? Oh, we have a great quarterback. Let's go sign Reggie White. We have a good quarterback. Let's go sign Charles Woodson. We have a good quarterback. Let's go get Clay Matthews. Like, granted, Clay Matthews was in the draft. The other two were free agents. But they know this playbook. I'm actually picking them to go to the Super Bowl, which certainly was not the case before Micah Parsons' addition. Okay. The East. Again, one team in a class of crap. The Eagles win the division, to me, easily. Washington comes down off their high horse. They went 12-5 last year. Yes, they got Deebo Samuel. Yes, they still have Terry McLaurin. They have Chris Rodriguez and a rookie running back. Now, rookie running back's probably the easiest position to learn as a rookie. But no. I mean, there's nobody else. So it's Philly, Washington, Dallas, Giants. But none of that. I will say Philly wins between 13 and 15 games. Washington wins between 7 and 9 games. Dallas wins between 5 and 7 games, and the Giants win between 3 and 4.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue the order, and I'm also agree with you that Washington takes a step back. I mean, as great as this was, as great as the run they made was. Remember, without the Hail Mary against Chicago, they don't make the playoffs. They have no running game as of now. We don't know what Deebo has at this point. I'm not sold. A lot of times you have this really fast, rapid increase, and then there's kind of a downslide for a year, and then kind of a little bit more of a bounce back. I kind of see that happening as well. Dallas, I mean, let's be honest. Other than CD, other than their pass receivers, what do they have at this point? I don't really know. The Giants, I think the Giants are interesting because I don't think they're going to be particularly good, but part of that is their schedule is absolutely brutal, and I see them almost around the same record, 5-12, give or take, as last year. But there is a much more optimistic feel, whether it's because of bringing in Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart. But it does feel like they're a year away from being interesting, which is at least something as a Giants fan. Well, I can't say a long-suffering Giants fan because in comparison to you, there is no such thing as a long-suffering Giants fan. But
yeah, that's where I peeked my head.
I feel there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay. How many games does Jackson Dart take part in?
Let me take a quick look at their schedule before I give you that, because I know they have, I believe, the second or third hardest schedule in the league this year. And it's really the first 9 games, which are just horrifying. So let me take a quick look here before I say something which I don't. Okay. We start off at Washington, at Dallas, Kansas City, home against the Chargers, at New Orleans versus Philly, at Denver. I mean, we're looking at, give or take, we're looking around 3-10 by the time we hit week 14. So my guess is they'll probably start the last 4 games of the season. Maybe I don't think the reason I think we wait that long is games 8 through 12. At Philly, home against the Niners, that one I could see if the Niners have injuries. At Chicago, they're not going to start them on the road. At Philly, at Chicago, at Detroit. To me, that's just not going to happen. You want to put them in a position to succeed, and putting someone at Chicago in November is not the way, or at Detroit is not the way to start that. So I think you're going to start after the break when they're probably, again, we're going to be irrelevant this year from a playoff perspective. But we have to see 4 or 5 games to see what he has and to see where there's been improvement. So I assume around week 13.
So the funny thing you said is to see whether there's been improvement. Well, he hasn't played, so what's the what improvement are you looking at here?
Liability is a long-term starter. Viability
Oh,
is a
you
starter.
think there's doubt that he's?
Let me rephrase. Let me rephrase. Viability as he shows the potential to be a starter for the next year, which is if he didn't, then Shane and Dable should both lose their jobs.
Well, 100%.
I mean, the practicality is this is drafting him, and you and I have talked about this ad nauseum. Drafting Dart has a twofold play for Shane and Dable. Number one, okay, we now have our quarterback for the future. Number two, we should now have a future to be able to try and develop him because we took over Daniel Jones and couldn't get it, and that wasn't our guy. Albeit we signed Shane, the GM signed him to an $160 million contract. But this is now quote unquote our guy, and we need 2 years because we need a year for him to learn behind Wilson and Winston, and then a year for him to try and go to run with this team and see where it goes. So it was a twofold play. And it was a good look. It's a good trade. I mean, I have no problem with it, but let's call it what it is. It gives them leeway. It gives them time.
Yeah,
because nobody wants to come in and take over someone else's quarterback.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. So, is Jackson Dart the most intriguing player in this division?
No, because he's not going to play for 75% of the year. So no.
Okay, who is?
I think the most interesting player to me is whoever the hell the starting running back is going to be for both the Cowboys and the Redskins. Whether it's Jaden Blue, whether it's Javonte Williams, whether it's Chris Rodriguez or Austin Eckler, because literally both of these teams feel like in completely one-sided. Neither team has a sensational defense. Both have high-end quarterbacks. Both have decent lines. Both have solid wide receiver duos. But they all feel one-dimensional. And you're not winning these games again. You're not winning. The NFC East plays a tough schedule. I think they all do, not just the Giants. You're not beating the NFC Central. You're not beating the AFC West. Not being able to run the ball. And if the Redskins or the Cowboys want to make the playoffs, they have to be able to do that.
Well, do you believe either one of them is going to make the playoffs?
I don't, but I can't. I'm not going to knock it out of the realm of possibility.
Okay.
I mean, the Redskins were 60 minutes from the Super Bowl last year. To write them off as a playoff contender seems silly.
I agree. And to that point, the most intriguing person for me is Deebo Samuel. Because Deebo, when he was in San Francisco, first of all, took a lot of snaps in the running back position. The understanding is that from my understanding, is he will do that again when he's with the Commanders, not the Redskins, the Commanders. And if he does that, then does that solve some of the running back problem issue, so to speak, in Washington? So I'll pick Deebo Samuel. Okay. We got 22 minutes to run through the AFC. The West. Wow. I think the Chiefs take a step. I think the Chiefs take a step back. I still think they win the division. I think Rashid Rice coming back 6 weeks in is a huge, huge lift for them in the second half. I think Xavier Worthy proved his mettle last year. Pacheco's back. They win the division. I'm going to pick Kansas City, Denver, Chargers, Raiders. And I still hate that the Raiders still suck, but they do.
But they'll be more fun at least. The coach is fun. I like Geno. You bring in the stud running back. Look, I agree with you on pretty much everything you said. I agree with you on the order. The Chargers feel too conservative a team to me at this point to make it to be a serious contender. I am not as high on Denver as everybody else is, though I do believe they'll make the playoffs. I think it's still Kansas City's team. It's still Kansas City's division until it's not.
Okay, most intriguing player in this division.
Am I allowed to say Travis Kelce?
You can. He's on my list. Well, if this is last year, it's definitely an intriguing play, right? If this is last year.
I think if this is his last year, I think he believes that his underachievement led to. Look, they went 15-2. They went to the Super Bowl, but nobody felt that was a great team last year, and which was reflected in the whipping that they took in the Super Bowl. I think he wants to go out as the guy again. He's lost 20 some odd pounds. He's in great shape. I think he's really interesting. I think Pacheco coming back. I think people are sleeping on Pacheco, who came off a broken leg and still came back during the year. Remember, he was a first-round pick fantasy-wise for people 2 years ago. I think there's still look. I don't think they're the top. I don't think they're one of the top 2 or 3 teams, but it's hard to really write them off. They're the freaking Kansas City Chiefs.
How much are we spending on Kelsey? How much are we spending on Pacheco?
25 on Pacheco, 10 to 12 on Kelsey. Should do it.
I don't think 10 to 12 will get Kelsey done, but I'm willing to if those work, then I'm in. Okay, most intriguing person in the AFC West is Justin Herbert, because it's about time. You're either going to be that guy or you're not going to be that guy. This is the year that you could beat the Chiefs.
Who? With who? They've got Lad McConkey, who's a nice slot receiver that was figured out by the end of the year. They have a rookie running back.
Yep.
Their best offensive player is out for the season. What the hell do they have offensively?
Hold on, but you could say that about a number of players in the NFL whose quarterback has made the team better. He has not. He has not made this team better. He just hasn't.
Who are you going to make better here? He made McConkey. I really like Herbert. I just don't think they have the talent to match up with these teams, to be perfectly honest, on the offensive end.
Okay.
Unless a Marion Hampton is the second, unless he is.
Okay, so hold on. So last year, hold on. So last year, let's look at the Commanders, right? Jaden Daniels, okay? Who you could say Jaden Daniels had Terry McLaurin, understood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Top 10, 15 wideout, probably, right? Put him in that boat, right? All right, who else do they have? Zach Ertz, Curtis Samuel, Chris Rodriguez, Brian Robinson.
Okay. Now, first of all, let's take a look at the divisions. Now, that's not great, because the Cowboys are comparable with the Broncos. The Chiefs are comparable with the Eagles. The Giants and Raiders are comparable. So let me take that a step back. So last year, the Chargers were 11-6, and the Redskins were 12-5.
Yep.
You're talking a 1-game difference.
Yeah, and I'm talking about a 83-point difference in the offense for the Commanders.
Yeah. Jalen Daniels was sensational. Had one of the best rookie years we've ever seen.
So what I'm saying is I want to see Justin Herbert have a year like that. That's what I want to see him do.
Have you ever seen a Jim Harbaugh offense before?
I have, and it's a run offense. I get it.
So how do you reconcile that? You can't ask a guy to throw for 4,500 yards. He's throwing 150 times less a season. Doesn't work.
Hold on. I want to see something. I'm just typing this in real quick. All right. So, hold on. Darn it. I was trying to find something. I was trying to find Geno Smith's stats, right? Okay. Geno Smith's 2024 stats at 4,320 yards. Okay. That's a Pete Carroll offense, right? Right?
Yes.
That's a run offense, right? 4,300 passing yards in a run offense. The most running
Okay.
in the NFL. Seattle. That's what I
Okay.
want. I want a 4,300, 4,500 yard season at Justin Herbert, who I believe has more talent than Geno Smith.
Okay.
We got, 15 minutes left? We got to move through these. As usual, we are running close on time. Okay. The AFC South. Yeah. Daniel Jones is starting for Indianapolis, so that's a no. Trevor Lawrence got very little help outside of Travis Hunter. So, yeah, that'll propel them to second, but not first. Tennessee got Cam Ward, but very little else, and they're still the same team that they were last year. Houston's got the second or third best defense in the NFL. I will take Houston. I'm going to make the claim that Tennessee jumps, but not that high. Houston, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Indy drops to last, and the Anthony Richard experiment is over.
Does he play? How many games does he start this year?
6. And then I think they put him in
Because
a
of
bubble.
Jones getting hurt, or because of Jones's?
No, I think Jones craps the bed in like week 4. They bring in Richardson. He plays 6 years, and they realize if he gets hurt, they got to guarantee the next year's salary. And so they're just going to put him in a protective bubble.
So they pull a Daniel
Jones style.
They pull a Daniel Jones to bring back Daniel Jones.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. No big
And
argument with the order. I think Jacksonville's closer to Houston than you do. Houston has no running game as of now. Their defense is solid. Their wideouts. Well, who is their number 2? Oh, Christian Kirk. I'll still take Houston.
Christian Kirk's no longer there. Christian Kirk's no longer there.
Oh, he's in. Then who's their number 2 wideout?
By the way, the cap hit for Anthony Richardson next year, if they don't cut him, is $10 million, which is not a huge cap hit. Hold on, depth chart, Texans.
And Kirk is the number 2 receiver in Houston.
Oh, right.
I
thought you were talking about Jacksonville. I thought. Sorry,
no,
I thought you were talking about next to Jack. Sorry, my bad. Yes, he is in Texas. He's in Houston. You're right. See,
they're the best team. They're the best. Well, they're the best coached. They're the best team. I don't think they go very far, but I do think they win the division.
Okay. Most intriguing player in this division, to me, you're going to be surprised when I say this, is Daniel Jones. Because he has a starting job, and he could keep the job the whole year if they play well. He can.
Good.
And Travis Hunter, obviously.
And this team is not – look, the team is not divest of talent.
No.
You have a stud running back.
Yep.
You don't have a bad offensive line. You still have Quentin Nelson. You have some – you drafted Tyler Warren.
Yep.
Downs was and Pierce and Pittman. Downs and Pierce had good years last year. Pittman took a step back. This is not a team devoid is the word I should have been looking for. It's not an offense devoid of talent. So there could be something there. It's not like I look at them like I look at Cleveland and I just say, God, I don't even know what to do with this.
No, we got them next.
Yeah, I know. You want to go? So I'm going to go. The most intriguing is Trevor Lawrence. I think that's easy because he has always seemingly been devoid of criticism. In Clemson, I don't think he's been overly. I don't think maybe it's because he's in Jacksonville. There's never been great expectation. But we are now at a point. He's 5 years in. He has a $250 million contract. He's won one.
He just got an extension. He just got that extension. Yeah. So I mean, it's put up or shut up time.
It's now, yeah. You have a new coach, an offensive coach in Liam Cohen. Now or never.
Okay. The AFC North, the only thing I am certain about is that the Cleveland Browns will finish last, and Joe Flacco will make an appearance on the Seth and Sean Sports Radio fantasy team at some point this year.
I think you're saying our show, which would be even better.
Well, that would be awesome, except we don't want the bobblehead. I am going to go Baltimore, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Baltimore really runs away with the division. I think they win 13 or 14 games this year. The question is, to me, is Pittsburgh going to finish above 500? And we all know what I think of the Aaron Rodgers experience. I am going to say no. This is the last year was the last year that in Mike Tomlin's run of 500. And this is the last year of Mike Tomlin.
Really?
I'm going to make the claim. Last year of Mike Tomlin.
Does he go to another team or does he retire?
No, I think he definitely goes to another team. I don't think he's done.
Bill Cowher had the same 15-year run.
Yeah, but Bill Cowher left on a Super Bowl, not on this.
So, I will agree with you on order. I think Cincy does give them a closer run than you do, than Baltimore. But I agree with you actually also on Pittsburgh, and we have a guest.
Jakey, who's our Super Bowl
NFL preview, dude?
Jakey, we got 8.5 minutes, so I need you to pick these teams in order: the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, the New York Jets, and the New England Patriots. Give me an order.
Buffalo Bills. What are the other three?
Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. Give Uncle Sean the order.
What is the order?
Okay.
Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. That's the order.
For fantasies.
This is our radio show.
Thank you kindly, my friend, as you pick the Jets above the Patriots. I endorse that. It
Neither of
works.
them is good, so I'm not worried.
It works. Okay. I believe that the Bills will finish first and run away with this division.
This division will be over by Halloween.
Yeah, if not game one. Actually, the Bills play the Jets game 2, so probably game 2. I will pick the Bills, the Jets, the Dolphins, and then New England. And Miami is one concussion away from being last.
Yeah, I mean that is the. Yeah, I'll go Buffalo. Dolphins, Jets, Patriots.
Most intriguing player in this. Most intriguing player
is Justin Fields.
Oh no! To me,
this
it's
is
Tua.
His make or break.
I think it's Tua.
This is make or break for Justin Fields as a starter. Period.
I agree with that.
You have running backs.
Okay.
Until this morning, you had an offensive line.
Yeah.
You know, you have a legit number one wideout. I don't even know who your number 2 is. Okay, Morgs. You can either be on the show.
Alan Lazard.
Okay. So let's keep
playoff
going.
Teams. We got 5 minutes. Kansas City. Tell me, agree or disagree? Playoff teams.
Agree.
Kansas City.
Agree.
Buffalo.
Agree.
Baltimore.
Agree.
Houston. So we got those 4 teams are in the play.
Do you agree on Houston, Jake?
Chargers.
It's Houston, Jacksonville, Indy, or Tennessee. That's the division winner. Jake, okay. I'll go. I agree with you on Houston.
Okay.
Okay.
As the wild cards, I have the Chargers. I have the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Chargers, the Bengals, and the Jaguars. Sounds awful, but I'm picking those 3.
I thought you had the Broncos twice. Broncos second.
No, I have the Broncos, the Bengals, and the Jaguars because 2 of these teams, history says that 2 teams that did not make the playoffs are going to make them this year. So I'm picking Cincinnati and Jacksonville as your playoff teams.
Okay, I'm going to go the easy way out. I'm going to take I'm going to take the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Bengals.
Okay, so you only have 1 that didn't make it last year. Okay, Lions, Eagles, Bucks, Rams. Those are 4 you had.
Yeah,
right?
you don't have. I thought you didn't have the Lions winning the division.
Oh, I didn't. So Packers, whatever. Then we're going to. So in the wild cards, the Lions, the Vikings, and the Niners. No,
I thought you had the Cardinals making it.
Cardinals. Yep.
I'll go the Lions, the Bears, and the 49ers. And the Cardinals are the first.
Okay. Who do you have in your Super Bowl? We're going to skip right to it. Who do you have in your Super Bowl?
Rams, Ravens.
Okay. I have Bills and Packers, which would be a pretty cool Super Bowl of two teams where only 20,000 people exist in each city.
And they can play in -4-degree weather and it'll work.
That's right. Your MVP of the year?
Joe Burrow.
Okay, my MVP is Josh Allen. Your rookie of the year?
Abdul Carter.
Okay, and I have Ashton Gentry. Excuse me.
Ashton Gentry. Alston Gentry was the quarterback.
Gentry. Okay. Ashton Gentry. Okay.
Wait,
last 5
Jake,
minutes. First of all, we have Jake, which is great. Jake.
Who's your Super Bowl and MVP?
Oh, who do you have winning the Super Bowl too?
Or MVP. So Super Bowl, I'm having the Bills and the Rams.
Okay.
MVP.
Okay.
Probably.
Who wins?
Josh Allen.
Wait, who wins?
Oh, the Rams.
Who wins the Super Bowl?
The Ravens. The Ravens for me. He says the Rams.
And I'll take the Bills, who finally bury the curse.
Yeah, the Ravens Bills
Which
is
would be
my
pretty
AFC
awesome.
team.
Okay. Okay, last 5 minutes. Congratulations to Kyle Schwarber. Any person that throws 4 home runs in one game. I know it's happened a lot more recently than
How about
it has
hits
in the
4 home
past.
runs in a game?
Nick Kurtz did it this
Is that
year.
a thing?
What?
That's better.
You said
What's that?
throws 4 home runs in a game. You said throws 4 home runs.
Oh, he hits 4. Sorry. Him and
think
Nick
that would be
Kurtz
more
both hit 4 home runs in a game. 4 home runs in a game. He almost did it in consecutive innings, which was kind of cool. Congratulations to Noah McLean being the first Met to go 3-0 in a very long time, and the second Jonah Tung being the second Canadian to ever play for the New York Mets. Congratulations on that.
Okay.
Seth, your last
I guess
please.
Okay. Quickly, two fan farewells. You said
Go into
one
tennis.
Lee
Let's
Corso,
go. Go into tennis.
One Lee Corso for 35 some odd years at College Game Day.
Yeah.
Retiring at age 90. God bless him. And yes, I will go into tennis. Cliff Drysdale, the longest commentator at ESPN since 1979, is currently calling his final match at age 84, which is going on as we speak.
That's where the tennis ends? Wow. I thought we definitely had something about some bad words.
We have a minute.
Okay, so we'll talk tennis next week. Wait, we got tennis and EPL next week. Stay tuned because we all know we're tuning in for that. For Seth Kamens, who's over there, and Jake Kamens, who's over there. I'm Sean Palmer, Seth and Sean Sports. Tune in for the results of our fantasy league next week. Have a great week, everybody. See ya.